It's time to step it up. Hey guys, and welcome back to another Random Distractions video. This one's going to be a quick unboxing and overview of the Arendal 1723 S THX tower speakers. Arendal did send these out to me, but there's no expectations on the review, and unfortunately I do have to send them back. The one thing I will say though is I'm already a fan of Arendal, as I did purchase those speakers for my home theater. However, the towers that I have are the Arendal 1961, and these are the next step up. The other thing I did want to mention is that there is an expected price increase for the Arendal 1723 lineup in particular. I received an email from them a little while ago, and I think most people have been mentioning that. It's going to happen on November 27th, so depending on when you see this video, it's either going to happen or has already happened. Currently for the Arendal 1723 S THX tower speakers, they're $29.99 a pair. With that out of the way, let's get to the unboxing. The speakers come really well packaged, and just to give you an idea of the size and the packaging, they're about 43 inches tall, about 21 inches deep, 15.5 inches wide, and they're pretty heavy. They are also supported with some stiffer cardboard on the edges. The labeling on the outside threw me off just a little, since it was labeled 1723 Tower 6, but that's just specifying the woofer size. On the inside you have the spikes kit, printed materials bag, and a lot of foam to keep them safe. Inside the bag is a manual and warranty card. We will get to the spike kit a little later. In addition to the foam, there's additional stiffer cardboard on the inside as well. Once I removed the foam, the first thing I took out was the grill, which is magnetic, and unlike the 1961 series, which comes in two parts, this is one large piece. Under the speaker were the white gloves, and before we can take it out, it was time to get the feet on. Since I have hard floors, I went with the rubber feet instead of the spikes, but I will say that the spikes are really nice and felt sturdy. Unfortunately, the gloves were making it a little hard to handle, so took them off. I mentioned this when I got my 1961 towers, but it would be nice if the manual just showed a graphic of how to go about putting the feet on. It's not too difficult to understand, but a simple graphic would be nice. I also ended up having to use a different screwdriver, so went with my impact driver, which had a bigger bit and worked a lot better. Just be careful when driving them in. I'm used to it, so it wasn't an issue. And I'll say it again, I do like how the feet have the Arendal logo on them. Now came the hard part, which was taking it out. It was a little tough getting it out of the box, but that just means that I need to work out a little more. Although they do weigh about 70 pounds, but somehow feels like they weigh more than that. That is partially to the fact that they use HDF, which is high density fiberboard, so it weighs more than what it looks like it would. Out of the box with the rubber feet, the towers measure about 39 inches tall, 13 inches deep, 10 inches wide not including the feet, or 13 inches wide including the feet. Notice the feet with the screws sticking out? I thought that didn't look great and wondered why Arendal would do that. We'll come back to that, but out of the box the speakers look great. It has four 6.5-inch woofers and a tweeter in what Arendal calls a 2.5-way design. Around the back you have two ports that can be completely sealed or ported in different configurations, and above that the binding posts, which I think are pretty good looking. A closer look at the back, I like the little saying of conceived in Norway, born in China, raised by you. You can also find back here that this is THX certified with a THX Ultra certification. It has 4 binding posts, so you can bi-amp, with the top being for the highs and the bottom posts for the lows. I think the black satin finish looks really good. You can also get it in white, and there are glossy options for both too. For my 1961s, you could only get the matte black or white. Next to my 1961 towers, you can see how much bigger it is. Here they are with the grills off, and I will say that the woofers don't look that much bigger. I measured mine, and they are about 5 inches when you measure from the rubber surrounds, while the 1723S measure 5.5 from the surrounds. The 1723S also has the Arendal logo on the speaker itself. Not sure if you can tell, but the 1961 towers also tilt a little more, and I'm sure that this is because they are shorter and smaller, so the tilt has to be a little bit more to point the sound more towards your ears. This shot just shows the grills next to the speakers, so you can see that the 1961 comes in 2 parts, while the 1723S is one large piece. One thing to note is that with the 1961, you do have to make sure to put the one with the logo at the bottom. It wasn't until this point that I had a thought in my head of, wait, I can use the tops that were on the spikes for the feet. With that, they look so much better now, and I'm sure this is what Arendal intended. Again, I think if Arendal could just include a quick diagram in the manual, that would be very helpful. Yeah, I felt kind of dumb in regards to the floor spikes. I don't know why I didn't think of putting the, the little covers on the top once I switched over from the spikes, but oh well. Some specs on the speakers are that in sealed mode, it's rated to go down to 49 Hz, while with one port out, it's rated at 39 Hz, and then with both ports out, it's rated at 35 Hz. Interestingly enough, in the sealed mode, which is rated to 49 Hz, that's actually the same as my 1961 towers too. They are also rated at 89 dB for their sensitivity, which is slightly higher than mine, which are rated at 87. And while my speakers top out at 350 watts RMS at 4 ohms, these can handle up to 400 watts RMS at 4 ohms, which doesn't seem like that much. So considering all of these specs, how do they actually sound in actual listening? Well, I'm going to leave the testing for a later video. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and compare my tower speakers, the 1961s, against this to see how that goes. But I wanted to try something different as well. So I'm part of a group called Official DFW Texas Home Theater Tours, Movie Nights, and GTGs. It's a long name, but it's actually a pretty cool group on AVSForum if you guys are interested and are in the DFW area to try to join that. But I decided to reach out to them because they're also, fans of the same thing that I am, which are home theater, audio, that kind of stuff. And I reached out to them to see if anybody would let me bring these Arendal 1723S tower speakers to their homes to compare against what they had, and that way I could, get a feel for them compared to other speakers as well. And so I did have a few takers, and I will have different videos on the different places that I went to comparing those speakers. Well, that's all that I have for this video. I would definitely appreciate a like, of course, on this one, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when those other videos drop and see how those 1723s compare against other speakers, not just the ones that I have. But until then, I hope you have a good one.